Imagine the year 560 BC. The sun is scorching the coast of Sicily, and in the center of the city of Akragas, a masterpiece of art is shimmering under the golden light. It's a massive, polished statue of a bull cast in pure bronze. At first glance, it looks like a monument to power, but as you get closer, you hear something that defies logic. It's not the hollow ring of metal. It's a deep, agonizing roar. But this isn't a beast. It's a human being, trapped inside a hollow furnace, slowly being roasted alive. This was the Brazen Bull, a machine specifically designed to convert the frantic screams of a dying person into the beautiful melodic bellowing of a bull. To the Greeks, it was engineering. To the victims, it was a living hell. Today, we aren't just looking at a torture device. We are stepping into the dark mind of a tyrant and the inventor who created his own tomb. Welcome to the most cruel punishment in human history. Our story begins in the 6th century BC, in the wealthy city of Akragas, on the southern coast of Sicily. It was a place of magnificent temples and immense riches. But beneath the beauty of the city lay a dark shadow. Its ruler, Phalaris. Phalaris was a tyrant in the purest sense of the word. History remembers him as a man of absolute cruelty, a leader who allegedly fed his own dark appetites with the suffering of his people. Legend even says he was a cannibal, a monster who terrorized his subjects to maintain absolute control. Every tyrant needs a way to inspire fear, and Phalaris was looking for something unique. Enter Perillos of Athens. Perillos wasn't a soldier or a politician. He was a master sculptor and a brilliant worker of bronze. He was a man of high art, but low morals. Perillos saw an opportunity to gain the tyrant's favor. He didn't bring Phalaris gold, and he didn't bring him land. Instead, he approached the throne with a vision of a musical instrument unlike anything the world had ever seen. A gift made of polished metal that would turn death into a performance. This was the moment the Brazen Bull was born. The Brazen Bull was not just a crude oven. It was a masterpiece of macabre engineering. Imagine a life-sized bull, hollow on the inside, with a door concealed perfectly within its shoulder. The victim would be forced inside, and the hatch would be locked from the outside, leaving them in absolute darkness. But the real genius of Perillos lay in the head of the beast. He designed a complex series of internal pipes and stops, a primitive form of acoustic amplification. As a fire was lit beneath the bull's belly, the bronze would begin to glow with a lethal heat. Inside, the air would turn into a furnace. As the victim began to scream in agony, their voice would be channeled through these brass tubes. The pipes were tuned so precisely that the frantic, high-pitched shrieks of a human were transformed. By the time the sound reached the nostrils of the bull, it was no longer a human cry. It was a deep, haunting, and melodious bellowing of a maddened bull. Perillos told the tyrant, "His screams will come to you through the pipes as the tenderest of melodies." Incense was often placed in the nostrils so that the smoke rising from the burning body would smell like sweet perfume. To the spectators standing in the square, it wasn't a brutal execution. It was a theatrical performance. A concert of death where the instrument was made of metal and the music was made of soul. When Perillos finally finished his masterpiece, he stood before Phalaris, expecting a chest of gold and the eternal gratitude of a king. He was proud of his engineering, blinded by his own vanity. But the tyrant of Akragas was not a man of gratitude. He was a man of dark humor and profound suspicion. Phalaris looked at the shining bronze bull, then at the inventor, and said, "If the music is as beautiful as you claim, sculptor, prove it. Get inside and show me how the pipes truly work." Perillos perhaps thinking he was just being asked to demonstrate the acoustics without a fire, climbed through the side hatch. He settled into the dark, hollow belly of his own creation. But as soon as he was inside, he heard a sound that made his blood run cold, the heavy bronze bolt sliding into place. The hatch was locked from the outside. Phalaris immediately ordered his guards to light a massive fire beneath the bull. The first person to experience the furnace of the Brazen Bull was the very man who had designed it. Perillos' own frantic screams were the first to be channeled through the brass pipes, transforming into the haunting, melodic bellows he had promised the king. Phalaris sat on his throne, listening with a twisted smile as the music of his new toy was finally brought to life by its creator. But Phalaris had one final cruelty in store. Just before Perillos drew his last breath, the tyrant ordered the fire to be extinguished and the inventor to be pulled out, charred and broken. Perillos likely thought he was being spared. He was wrong. Phalaris didn't want the bull to be polluted by the death of a common sculptor. Instead, he took the half-dead inventor to the top of a steep cliff and threw him off. Perillos died on the jagged rocks below, a victim of his own genius and the cold-blooded malice of the man he tried to impress. But history has a way of coming full circle. Phalaris reigned with an iron fist for 16 years, leaving a trail of smoke and silence behind him. But even the most feared tyrants are not immortal. In 554 BC, the people of Akragas finally reached their breaking point. Led by a nobleman named Telemachus, they rose up in a bloody revolt. The city that had lived in fear for over a decade turned its fury toward the palace. When Phalaris was finally captured, the people didn't want a trial. They didn't want a simple execution. They wanted him to feel the very music he had forced upon so many others. The tyrant of Akragas was dragged to his own bronze masterpiece. The hatch was opened one last time, and Phalaris was forced inside. As the fire roared beneath the belly of the beast, the citizens of Akragas stood in the square, listening as the man who loved the sound of the bull finally became the source of its melody. Phalaris died inside the very machine he had commissioned to immortalize his power. After his death, the Brazen Bull was reportedly thrown into the sea, or, according to some accounts, taken to Carthage. Its physical form vanished, but its shadow remains. The story of the bull forces us to confront a terrifying truth: that human ingenuity, when stripped of empathy, is the most dangerous force on Earth. We build machines to save us, to entertain us, and to define us. But as Perillos and Phalaris learned too late, sometimes the things we build end up consuming us. What do you think? Was the fate of Phalaris a perfect act of justice? Or did the people become the very monsters they sought to destroy? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the darker side of history, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to PunnyPal for more stories the time tried to erase. I'm PunnyPal, and I'll see you in the next one.